What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today I am joined by the famous anime YouTuber, Hiro Hey. Hiro Hi, Hiro Hey. I had to check with him. We're going with Hiro Hey. So how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I appreciate the title. I don't know about the famous part, but I appreciate it, though. And it's definitely a pleasure to be here, though. Thank you for having me. Very excited for this show.
Yeah, man. I mean, you reached out to me about a month ago, probably on Twitter, and then obviously I told you, yeah, we'll definitely get together. And then with everything that's been going on with you and Anime News Network, is that it? Anime News Network, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I'm not the. Yeah, and like I told you before, and everybody knows this, I'm not big into anime. I respect the anime community and respect anime as an art form, no doubt. I've seen a few. I think Ninja Scroll is the only anime I've ever seen.
Oh, geez.
Ninja Scroll.
I don't know too much about that one.
Yeah, but I remember liking it a lot. And, you know, it's not that I'm against it. I just don't really have time between video games and all the movies I'm into and sports. But yeah, man, it's been an interesting few days for you. So today we are going to talk about a lot of things going on with you and the bigger picture of what's going on with YouTube with censorship, copyright claims, the Vic situation. I've covered the Vic Mignogna story a few times, and I'm sure you're you're familiar with a lot of what happened with me. So let's start.
Oh yeah.
Yes, let's start with the hot topic right now, this Anime News Network situation. They issued a copyright. Was it a strike on you?
Yeah, I did get a strike. I mean, I got a strike out of it. It happened about a month ago. So, you know, it takes 10 to 14 business days. We sent in the counter notification. Unfortunately, even 14 business days ended up being like a month later. So it was still quite a hit.
Yeah. And for people that don't know, I mean, a copyright strike on your channel is a very difficult thing to deal with. You lose the ability to live stream. I've never had one on my channel. So you can't live stream, which is a really huge income source for a lot of YouTubers.
Yeah, it is.
And it also puts you in jeopardy of having your channel completely deleted if you continue to have these.
Exactly.
Now, explain to us kind of how the whole process went. You're better suited to explain to our audience.
Yeah, of course. No worries. About copyright in general, like the strikes?
Well, just what you dealt with firsthand with Anime News Network.
Okay, yeah. So, so we had one strike. If I got two more, the whole channel obviously would be deleted. That'd be horrible. And it affected my ability to live stream for up to 3 months. So I just wanted to clarify that. The 10 to 14 business day thing was from disputing it. But if you don't dispute it, 3 months, you got to wait until that's removed. Assuming you don't get any more strikes in that period, you know, and it could even lead to a deletion. But anyways, basically, they had a podcast that they had done way back in 2013, about an hour and 15 minutes long. We did a live stream critiquing it, commentating on it. It's even in the title, literally says critique with chat. Ended up going for like 2.5 hours, if not more than that. So greatly, way longer than the actual podcast was. So, you know, if you wanted the podcast experience, you wouldn't get that from my stream. You would get my commentary, my opinion on that, as well as the whole chat. That video was up for a good, honestly, almost a month. It was up and nothing happened to it. And then out of nowhere, boom, strike. And so that kind of set everything in motion.
Man, it is. And as a YouTuber, you know this as well as I do, and every YouTuber as we watching this, we're like sitting there going like, what do we do? Every day we wake up, we don't know what we're going to get hit with. You know, Mecha Random 42, who's a YouTuber that I'm friends with, she got hit with a strike the other day. I believe that it's been lifted as of today. She talked to the person.
Oh, okay. That's great.
I think it got lifted. She talked to the person, the artist in charge of the artwork. And if it hasn't been lifted, the person is going to lift it from what Random told me, which is great.
That is great. Yeah. The last update I had on that was they were in contact.
Yeah, so I'm really happy about that, but it's a bigger problem going on with what we're facing every single day. I'm looking back on some of my old videos, and when I say old videos, just from like the last year and a half, and I was just making videos. I didn't expect to have a channel get any really big traction and get all these views and all this attention, and now I'm thinking like, all right, I never intentionally did anything out of line, but I'm wondering, did I do anything that could go? I don't know. Should I go back and delete a bunch of videos? I mean, I think the fact that they won't even warn you, you know, like, okay, if I do something that infringes upon your copyright, don't strike me. You know, give me like a warning, take the video down, whatever you need to do, challenge it. But a strike, when it seems like YouTube's just ran by a bunch of bots, like we were talking about before the show, like it's just all algorithm bots and there's no human element to any of it. It's absolutely.
Yeah. It certainly is. Like, on one hand, I can understand a little bit because YouTube, there's so much video getting put out, and it's just, I guess it would be just literally impossible to have a manually like everything done. But the system is right now is ridiculously easy to abuse, and they know that. Like, it's there's literally people that just straight up abuse it. I forget if it was Jeremy from the Quartering or who it was, but like one example was someone was striking videos and like ransoming it, saying if you pay me money, I'll lift the strike. There's a story about that. That was nuts.
Yeah, man, and that's one thing. Like, I'm a big fan of PewDiePie, and I like PewDiePie's approach to things because he's like, man, he said there's people that upload my content all the time, constantly. If I was going down just striking down videos because people are uploading my content, or even just commenting on my commentary, like, what kind of world is that? That's a horrible situation. That's why I'm so happy that he's the top guy on YouTube. It kind of sets that precedent. But there's so many people that are abusing this situation. And it's to the point where something's got to give. Something has got to happen. And this is why my whole message a few days ago was that I don't care if we agree. I don't care if we like each other. As YouTubers, we need to stand together in these situations, because there's a lot of channels that are getting affected by this that they don't have the following. They don't have a nice Twitter following like you and I do, where they can get a bunch of people retweeting them and, tagging Team YouTube. They're just starting out, and they're just left with all these questions and no answers and very little support. And that's why I think we should at least all try to band together, especially for those smaller YouTubers. It's one thing for a Jeremy from the Quartering or, a Philip DeFranco, or those guys are always going to be able to get their message heard, and they've got enough support. But the people that don't, that's who I really worry about. And something's got to give here. And
no, you're absolutely right. I can't imagine, man, like being an up and coming creator or someone with it doesn't have as much pull. If something bad happens to you, you're kind of SOL. You really are. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest, that the best way to remedy situations right now on YouTube seems to be Twitter. Like it's not emailing YouTube. It's not getting a hold of support. It's like you have to tweet at them. It's really weird. It really is.
So you're so right. I mean, you really are. You're at the point where you just have to go in there and spam Team YouTube and beg your followers to help spam Team YouTube and retweet you. That's it. That's really the best way to get a hold of them. I mean, I had my situation, and this is, I always say this because I do complain. I've been complaining about YouTube a lot, and I believe justifiably so. But at the same time, YouTube helped me out when I had a situation where, this was several months ago, it was last year. All of my ad revenue, I was an idiot and got caught up in a little phishing scam. All right, so I clicked on I was on the set of Star Wars Theories Vader fan film in LA. I get an email, and it just said, your account's in jeopardy, yada, yada, yada. And I had horrible reception. And I'm like, I had so much going on. I just clicked on it. They got access to my account. They rerouted everything. They took every cent from my ad revenue for that month. And
just from clicking that one thing, huh?
Yeah. And so it took me 3 weeks of every day, all day, trying to get YouTube to talk to me. And finally they did. And when they first talked to me, they were just like, okay, well, you need to go through these steps. I was like, no, you don't understand. Someone has stolen my money. And they responded, and it almost like a light bulb went off, and they're like, okay, this is a serious situation. We're going to forward this to our internal department. I'm like, oh my God. All right. Finally, that sounds like a human answered me. And it took them another few weeks, but they fixed it. They got every single cent back to me and fixed the situation. Yada, yada, yada. It was my mistake ultimately for getting caught up in that situation. And yes, it took an act of God for me to get them to talk to me. But once they did, they worked with me and they got all of my money back. So it's not impossible. So I would urge anybody out there, if you're running into any of these issues, do not give up on YouTube. I mean, they don't make it easy, but I am firsthand experience. I am not a channel that YouTube would particularly like with all of my opinions, but even still, once I actually got a human to hear my side, they treated me as fairly as I possibly could imagine. And that is to be noted. And I want to make that clear, but
no, that is really fair. And I can add on to that briefly here too. Dealing with this last copyright strike that I had with ANN, the 14 business days had passed and I still hadn't heard anything, which seemed very odd because they literally said like 10 to 14 business days. I figured by 14, I definitely would hear something. I think I even waited till like the 15th or 16th business days just to be sure I didn't mess the math up. But at that point, I still didn't hear anything. I sent an email to creator support. They were actually pretty prompt. I got a reply that day. And the next day they had well, that same day they escalated it to the internal department or whatever it was. The next day the issue was resolved though. So yeah, when you actually get a hold of them, sometimes they can get the ball rolling. It's just getting a hold of them. That's a struggle sometimes though.
And to segue off of that, you and I just learned this the other day. You were demonetized. Your channel was demonetized. How long ago was this now?
This was March 13th. I think was the exact day. Yeah, I think so.
Now we're dealing with a lot of creators that are dealing with this situation. I just told you about Dash Star, a friend of mine and a YouTuber. Mm-hmm. What happened with this with you? Like, how did this happen with you, and how did you get it resolved?
Yeah, good question. So let me just clarify. I mean, we'll get to this anyway, but I'll clarify it really quick here. So I do have my monetization back, just for the viewers. Right. So you do know that much. But yeah, so basically I woke up Monday, or it wasn't Monday, it was March, someday in March. Woke up thinking it'd be a great day, feeling good. Check my email. And it's funny because as a creator, sometimes the last thing you want to see in your inbox is the email from YouTube.
Oh, yes. So you're so right about that. Every time I get one, my heart skips a beat now.
So the headline of that was something like, we have removed your partnership, or you've lost monetization, basically. I'm like, oh my God. So I opened the email up, and it says that I lost my monetization due to duplicate/reused content. And it's been a few months, so I'm a little foggy on the memory. Also trying to not remember some of this stuff because it was such a mess. Yeah. But yeah, basically the email was very vague. They didn't tell you exactly what the problem was. And not only that, but the email actually conflicted with information I was told from a Google employee, because I did reach out to Google support, because at this point, when I lost monetization, it wasn't even just monetization. They literally removed me from the partner program. So for example, the email that I was discussing a moment ago about the strike, I wouldn't even be able to send that email because that was through the partner program. So I couldn't actually even really get a hold of YouTube support because I was no longer a partner. But I found a little kind of loophole to go through Google support and talk to them through a live chat. It was absolutely useless though. They had nothing for me. It was just forms, those default forms they send you that don't help at all. And they wouldn't tell me what video caused this or what videos caused it. So, they say you can reapply for monetization in a month. I think that was a month. But they don't tell you what to fix. So you can reapply, but if the problem's still there, you're not going to get it reinstated. Plus, how long it's taking to get monetization these days. Some people are waiting months or even a year or more to get the review completed. So on one hand, it's you wait the month and reapply, but who knows how long after that.
You're so right.
Yeah, so that's all kinds of bad. The only good thing that happened from talking to Google support is, as I mentioned, the information I received from that employee was conflicting with the email. So that kind of gave me a little more wiggle room. Basically, to kind of summarize this, the first day I got that email, I didn't really do anything about it. I reached out to a few friends, a few other content creators, and let them know about what happened. But I didn't hit up Google that day or anything. I was just kind of I had to take it in and just kind of think about what to do, right? Mm-hmm. So I researched what other people had done that had gone through this, which, by the way, it seems like this is only getting more frequent now, this whole demonetization thing, as we've been seeing. But I guess we'll talk about that in a moment. So I spent that whole first day planning out what to do and researching how people got this resolved. And that's what kind of took me to Team YouTube on Twitter. So I made this plan the next day to literally, this is what I had to do. I recorded a video and I had it planned out to release this video the same time I had a friend doing a live stream where he would talk about my issue, and I had multiple other creators on Twitter also all tweet at the exact same time. So I had a video go out, I had someone mention it on a live stream, and I had 5 different creators on Twitter all at Team YouTube. So they got literally bombarded out of nowhere about this issue. And thank God, man, once we did that, I didn't hear anything from Team YouTube right away. In my mind, I was thinking, maybe they would get back to me in a day or two and say they forwarded it. I didn't hear anything, but 4 hours later, they replied and said that, yeah, it was a mistake and they fixed it. So that was actually really surprising. 4 hours after, and they fixed it.
And see, and that goes right back into the things I was saying earlier, and then something you said earlier too. We have to understand YouTube. I don't know. I don't have the number in front of me. thousands and thousands and thousands of videos are uploaded every minute on YouTube. I mean, this thing is a behemoth that I don't think YouTube fully understands how to, manage it. So to know that much traffic is going through this, it has to be ran by bots and all of that. We understand that. So when creators run into this issue, we have to stand together. I mean, that's the only way right now. And we can complain that that's the way, but it's the way. And YouTube has given us an opportunity to make a living and make money, and that's fine. And they do make it difficult to contact them, and it's frustrating, but it's possible. So if you have been demonetized, reach out to people, reach out to me. I mean, I'm not just going to blindly try to retweet you, but I will look into your situation. I mean, as long as you don't have horrible things on your channel and you've been demonetized, that's crazy. I will do everything in my power to help retweet you on Twitter, to get Team YouTube's attention, and reach out to other friends. And it doesn't matter if they have a big following or not. It's not like Team YouTube's going to look at the tweet and go, oh, this person only has 2 followers, I'm not going to respond. You just got to tag the hell out of them. You got to get their attention if you feel like you've been wrongly done. And you're a testament to that. And so it's you just don't give up. Do not give up on trying to get their attention, because it is hard and it's difficult, but it's possible. Just like Secure Team 10, I talked about them being demonetized. They have 2 million subs and they got demonetized. And
it's insane.
And a few days later, no response from YouTube. They just turned it back on. And you're like, okay. I mean,
you're happy about it, but you're kind of still like a little weirded out by it. That's probably the best way to put it, because you don't know exactly what happened. And I'd like to just also mention, anyone who that goes through, that Jeremy kind of just explained, you can reach out to me as well. I don't have as big of a following as G&G, but we can all stick together and help out. So I just want to put it on the table too.
He's being humble. He's got a good Twitter following too. So, but we all, I mean, I consider everything I have going on. If you run into any issues in the future, I'm going to do everything in my power to help you, and anybody else that runs within our wheelhouse and is just out there trying to do what they can to get their opinions out there. Like I said in my video I uploaded, it's not really about where we disagree or agree. It's about the fact that we should all have the ability to speak. Speaking on that, let's talk about Vic Mignogna. Now,
all right,
this is your topic. Now I've covered it a little bit. I was banned from Pensacon simply for
that was early on too. And
I didn't even take a stance on it because I was like, I don't know much about Vic Mignogna. I don't follow this community much, but all I said was, if can we get some evidence and can we see some actual tangible evidence before we vilify this guy? Because I said,
how dare you ask for evidence?
And because I said that, all of a sudden Pensacon's like, you're banned. I'm like, dude, I've been to your convention for the past 4 years. I've had a great relationship with you guys. I've never caused a problem. And now because I share one opinion because of how you guys are treating people on Twitter, I'm banned? And they said that I was part of the far right YouTube.
Oh my God.
All this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyway.
Yeah, the whole classic bombardment that they fire people.
Yes, the classic. So talk to me and talk to our audience about the Vic Mignogna situation and how you've dealt with that and covered that and your experience with it up to this point.
Yeah, I would like to ask you a little bit about the Pensacon stuff as well. Because that was a while ago. I mean, if we could just hit that really quick. So, because that was back, what was it, February, I think even?
I can't even remember.
Maybe March?
February or March. I think it was March.
Yeah. So you've been there for 4 years, huh? And then
press passes and all.
And then they just revoked your pass and said you were banned from the convention?
Yeah, I mean, I did. Yeah, I made a video talking about their behavior on Twitter because they were seeking people out that weren't even tagging them or anything, that they were just talking about the Vic Mignogna thing. And if you're going to Pensacon, can you basically people were like, if people are going to go to Pensacon, who's the Monica Real, what's her name? Monica?
Yeah, Real. There you go.
So I guess she was going to be there. So then there were people saying, hey, if you're going to Pensacon, shoot me a DM. And then the Pensacon accounts just going after these people and just big time. Well,
oh my God,
I know the guy who runs Pensacon, and he is a dick, and everybody in town knows he's a dick. So I had a lot of people. They were like, Jeremy, this is going on in your hometown, man. You got to tackle it. And I told my wife, I was like, I need to cover this story, and I don't need to hold back. I'm not going to hold back because this is bullshit what's going on. I don't like how they're treating people, and I don't like the fact that they're vilifying this guy Vic when, again, I don't know the story, but what I do know is I haven't seen any evidence yet. They are demonizing this guy So I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to be honest about it. So I did a video, and I talked about it, and I talked about how Pensacon, the people that run Pensacon, they kind of, this is kind of par for the course for them and their mentality. So I was kind of critical of them in the video. Not even 20 minutes after I uploaded my video, I got a very snarky email from the, I'm not going to say the person's name, but I know this person, and they're one of the top people at Pensacon. A very, almost like, it was almost like my mom talking to me like they're disappointed. I am so disappointed in you, but you knew this was going to happen, so we're revoking your.
No way.
And then it was like,
you knew this was going to happen. Oh my God.
And so I think I can't remember. I was saying Vic Mignogna's name wrong, and in the end it said, and if you want to make any more videos on Vic, here's how you say his name, and they're correcting. I was like, wow, this was so unprofessional. And
that really is. It's like shocking. It reminds me of the smugness of the tweet that I had been sent from Anime News Network. Even, you know, they're like, I forget exactly what they said. Oh, you got it
pulled up. I got it pulled up. If by won the dispute you mean gave up and deleted infringing video, sure, whatever. We dare you to upload it again in the same exact format.
Yeah, it reminds me of that a little bit. They're like smug. Yeah, whatever, sure. You know?
You are 100% spot on. That's exactly the same tone. It was unreal. So yeah, so that's how.
Oh, that's funny.
And I just made a few more videos on it, and I left it alone. I mean, I could have really dove deep into this Vic Mignogna story, but it's just not my world. And the few videos I did talk about got a ton of traction, but I was like, I just don't know this world that well, and I don't feel that I can bring a good, like you bring a far more credibility to the story than I do. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you. And that's respectable that, yeah, even though it was doing really well, you still abstained from making some more just because you didn't feel like that way.
Don't tell the internet though, because they'll be like, oh, Jeremy just goes after clicks and views.
Of course. Yeah. They'll say, well, certain people will say whatever they can.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So how did I get involved? So I've covered Ruby for quite a while, as some people might notice in the back of Ruby posters. You might not know what that is, though. That's Ruby is a show from Rooster Teeth, and one of the best characters in the show is Crow Bronwyn, and he was voiced by Vic Mignogna. So throughout January, I was hearing all kinds of stuff surfacing about these accusations against Vic, but I didn't want to mention it in any of my videos or streams because at the time it wasn't really like going crazy yet. It was just kind of like some rumors in the Ruby community and the Rooster Teeth community that this stuff was kind of like popping up. But then late January, he actually did get terminated from Ruby. And at that point, I was like, oh, wow, okay. I didn't want to really bring attention to the situation. But at that point, things had just escalated so much. So I made a video pretty early on, really early on, and talked about why I thought the termination was wrong. That video ended up doing very well, and I decided to just kind of stick with it and keep following the story. And like you said, there's not really any evidence that's going with it. And as a matter of fact, the more I've covered the situation, I found that the evidence that even like the questionable evidence, which is mostly hearsay that's out there, has even been proven false. And even the people who made those statements have admitted a number of them are just completely made up.
Yeah,
so
it's wild, man.
It is.
It is.
It's been going on for about 4 months, and I've only seen less and less merit over the last 4 months into these accusations. And there's something I do want to make clear really quick too, because some people, like to say you're just a fan of Vic. I only really knew Vic for his role as Crow, and I do love Crow. He's a great character, but I've never really been a fan of Vic. I didn't really know much about Vic before this whole thing started, except that he voiced Crow, and I like Crow. But throughout all this research the last 4 months, I've definitely become a fan of Vic now. But my original bias, because I just want to clear this up because it's a pretty important point, I actually am biased towards the Kick Vic side. Like, I grew up with Dragon Ball Z, voice actors like Sean Schemmel, Chris Sabat. I've always loved Funimation. Like, if I'm biased towards any side in the situation, it's actually the people on Kick Vic. I grew up with a lot of those voice actors and really loved a lot of their work. And even still, I'm going against them now. A lot of those people blocked me on Twitter, said horrible things about me. And it is what it is, because even though I might really have liked the work that a number of these people did, seeing their characters show for what it really is, in my opinion at least, it's so telling, man. And that's why I'm standing on the side that I am.
That's a great point that you bring up, because you actually do have a bias and you're going against your own bias to look at the common sense side of it and just go, there's not any evidence to support the fact that this man is being treated like this. Speaking of Rooster Teeth, Andy from Rooster Teeth hates my guts. What's his name? Andy?
Andy.
God,
I don't know.
He's
I know most of the Ruby guys on the team, so he might be involved with like some of their other projects.
let me see. Let me Google it real quick, because he's went after me on Twitter quite a few times, and I didn't know.
Oh God.
I didn't know who he was, and he had like a big following, and he's like complaining about Andy. Let's see, it's Andy Blanchard. Yeah,
That is one who I don't know too much about.
Yeah, Andy Blanchard, and but yeah, I don't really know what he has, what his direct involvement is, but he really does not like me. And so I've taken an opportunity a few times to make videos like Rooster Teeth hates Geeks and Gamers and they're jealous of Geeks. I'm like, why is Rooster Teeth worried about us? Like, don't they have like 10 million followers? And, but yeah, that's really all I know. I mean, some people on my team are actually big fans of Andy, and they were like, when he first went after me, they're like, please don't respond, Jeremy. Please try to make. And I think I did it first, and then he took the tweet down that he basically just accused Geeks and Gamers of being like this hate channel. And I'm like, dude, like over half of my team loves your content and disagrees with. Like, you can not like me, but understand Geeks and Gamers is far more than me. I might be the most prominent voice and face, but yeah. And he deleted the tweet and apologized, and then started going after me again recently. And I was
man,
dude, thank you. It gives me more content now, you know. So the more you talk about
that's the good part about it, at least. I mean, it's still unfortunate though. Some of this stuff, well, not even some, a lot of it just makes no logical sense.
Yeah.
That some people do.
It does, and it does not make any sense. Now, as far as Vic goes, I've actually been invited to this Hawaii convention later this year, and Vic is going to be there. I'm looking into it, and I'm press passes and everything. So I'm definitely I'm taking that into consideration. If you're interested, I might see if you want to go with me. So
I mean, you know what month that would be by any chance?
I don't remember. They contacted me through our Geeks and Gamers Twitter account. Hang on, and I didn't.
I appreciate that offer, man.
Oh no, dude, for real. Let's see, Hawaii Con, September 26th through the 29th. So
I very well may be able to attend that.
I will talk to you. We'll talk about this off air. I'll give you my phone number. We can talk. I still need to contact them, but yeah, Vic is going to be there, which is a huge selling point, which I guess that's probably why they reached out to me when this whole Pensacon nonsense happened. And they seem really cool and really nice. I've never been to Hawaii, but I need to, as a matter of fact, I need to get on the ball and call this convention director, because I still haven't contacted him, and we'll talk more about that later. But yeah,
sounds good.
So, I mean, it would only make sense for somebody like you that's prominent in the anime community to be there. And so if I can make that happen with my connections, and people are like, why is Jeremy going? Well, Jeremy's going because he's got Hero with him. That's why. Because
I mean, come on, you bring a lot to the table too. But I'll accept that I might be more of a weeb. That's fair.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I actually decided to cut this into 2 parts because it went so long, and we had really good discussions in the second half. So I didn't want to have a 50-minute video. So definitely check back tomorrow for part 2 of my discussion with Hero Hey. Great discussion. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.